What's the science behind happiness and human strengths? Join me as I dive into the science behind happiness and tackle the challenge of discovering what really makes us strong. Happiness and human strengths are two things that we all strive for, but have you ever stopped to think about how they intersect with science? It's easy to assume that happiness is just a feeling that we can't quite put our finger on, but the truth is that there's a whole lot of research that's been done to understand what makes us happy and how we can cultivate more of it in our lives. And when it comes to human strengths, we often think of them as just being things that we're naturally good at. But did you know that they can actually be developed and grown over time? The deep connection between happiness and strengths. Happiness and human strengths are deeply connected, shaping our sense of purpose and fulfillment. When we engage in activities that align with our strengths and passions, we experience a profound sense of joy and meaning. However, despite their significance, we often overlook the importance of nurturing our strengths and actively cultivating happiness in our daily lives. Many people assume that strengths are fixed traits, but research suggests they can be developed and refined over time. Similarly, happiness is not merely a fleeting emotion, but a skill that can be nurtured through intentional practices like gratitude, mindfulness, and positive relationships. By focusing on what brings us joy and leveraging our strengths, we can create a more meaningful and satisfying life. Yet, in the rush of daily responsibilities, we frequently neglect these essential aspects. Let's delve into the science behind happiness and strengths to understand how they shape our well-being. The dual nature of happiness and strengths. Happiness and human strengths are closely intertwined like two sides of the same coin. When we use our strengths to engage in activities that bring us joy, it creates a powerful sense of flow and fulfillment. However, this connection is often overlooked in favor of more superficial pursuits. Understanding the science behind happiness and human strengths can offer valuable insights into how we can live more meaningful lives. By exploring this relationship, we can uncover ways to harness our strengths to cultivate lasting happiness and deeper engagement with life. Let's take a closer look at how these elements work together and what we can learn from them. Common misconceptions about happiness. Misconceptions about happiness are everywhere, and one of the most common ones is that it's solely based on external circumstances or material wealth. We often think that if we just had a bit more money or a nicer house or a more successful career, then we'd be happy. But the truth is that happiness is much more complicated than that. Research has shown that once our basic needs are met, additional wealth does not necessarily lead to greater happiness. In fact, studies have found that people who are wealthy but lack social connections and a sense of purpose are often just as unhappy as those who are struggling to get by. Happiness as a skill rather than an emotion. Another common misconception about happiness is that it's just a feeling that we can't control. We often think that happiness is just something that happens to us, rather than something that we can cultivate and grow over time. But the truth is that happiness is a skill that can be developed just like any other. By focusing on the things that bring us joy and fulfillment, and by practicing gratitude and mindfulness, we can actually increase our overall sense of happiness and well-being. The complexity of happiness beyond positive emotions. Many people associate happiness with just feeling good all the time, but it's much more complex than that. While positive emotions certainly play a role, happiness also involves living a meaningful and fulfilling life. This means experiencing a wide range of emotions, not just the positive ones. Sadness, anger, fear, and frustration are all part of the human experience, and embracing these emotions can contribute to a deeper sense of well-being. In fact, suppressing or ignoring negative emotions can hinder our growth and happiness. When we allow ourselves to fully experience and accept all emotions, both positive and negative, we create space for personal growth and a more authentic sense of happiness. Happiness isn't about constant joy, but about finding balance and meaning in our emotional experiences. Acknowledging the full spectrum of emotions can help us build resilience and live a more fulfilling life. Happiness as a collective experience. Another misconception about happiness is that it's just about individual happiness rather than thinking about the greater good. We often focus on our own personal happiness without considering how our actions might impact those around us. But the truth is that happiness is often a collective effort. and that by focusing on the well-being of those around us, we can actually increase our own sense of happiness and fulfillment. The myth of perfect happiness. There's a common belief that happiness is about reaching a state of perfection, where we're constantly positive and free from setbacks. We might imagine that happiness means becoming a perfectly happy person who never feels negative emotions or faces challenges. However, the truth is that happiness isn't a destination but a journey. It's not about achieving a flawless state of perpetual joy. Instead, happiness involves navigating the ups and downs of life, embracing the twists and turns along the way. It's about learning to find joy and fulfillment even during difficult times. Life isn't linear and setbacks are inevitable, but these challenges often provide opportunities for growth and resilience. By accepting that happiness is an ongoing process, not a fixed state, we can stop chasing an unattainable ideal and start focusing on embracing the full range of our experiences. True happiness is found in the journey itself, not a perfect endpoint. Myths about strength and resilience. In addition to these misconceptions, there are also many myths about what it takes to be strong. We often think that strength means being tough and stoic, never showing weakness or vulnerability. But the truth is that strength is actually about being brave enough to be vulnerable, to take risks, and to face our fears head-on. Strength beyond physical power. A common misconception about strength is that it's solely about physical power or athletic ability. We often equate strength with the ability to lift the most weights or run the fastest, but this view overlooks the many other forms of strength. True strength isn't limited to the physical realm. It encompasses emotional resilience, mental toughness, and the ability to persevere through adversity. Strength can be seen in someone who remains calm and composed in the face of stress, or in someone who pushes through challenges despite feeling overwhelmed. It's about the courage to face difficult situations and continue moving forward even when things aren't easy. This deeper form of strength allows individuals to grow, adapt, and thrive under pressure. The strongest people are often those who demonstrate resilience in tough times, not just those with physical prowess. Strength is a multifaceted trait that extends far beyond athletic ability. Strength as a collective effort. And then there's the idea that strength is just about individual achievement, rather than thinking about the greater good. We often focus on our own personal achievements without considering how our actions might impact those around us. But the truth is that strength is often a collective effort, and that by working together towards a common goal, we can actually achieve far more than we could on our own. Happiness and strength as skills that can be developed. One of the most important things to understand about happiness and human strengths is that they're not fixed traits, but rather skills that can be developed and grown over time. By focusing on building our strengths, practicing gratitude and mindfulness, and cultivating positive relationships, we can actually increase our overall sense of happiness and well-being. The role of positive psychology. Positive psychology is a branch of psychology that shifts the focus from what's going wrong in life to what makes life worth living. Instead of just addressing problems or disorders, it explores the factors that contribute to happiness, strength, and overall well-being. One of the core insights of positive psychology is that happiness isn't simply about feeling good or experiencing pleasure. It's also about living a meaningful, fulfilling life that aligns with our values and passions. Positive psychology emphasizes the importance of finding purpose, nurturing relationships, and engaging in activities that bring us joy and a sense of accomplishment. It also encourages cultivating strengths such as resilience, gratitude, and optimism. By focusing on these positive aspects of life, we can build a more balanced, enriched existence. Happiness in this sense is not just a fleeting emotion, but a long-term result of living intentionally and meaningfully. The importance of human strengths in happiness. Another key finding of positive psychology is that our strengths are not just things that we're naturally good at, but rather things that we can develop and grow over time. By focusing on building our strengths and using them to do things that bring us joy and fulfillment, we can actually increase our overall sense of happiness and well-being. Using strengths for a greater purpose. Human strengths are often seen as tools for personal success, but they are much more than that. True strength isn't just about individual achievement, it's about how we use our strengths to create a positive impact on the world around us. When we use our talents, skills, and abilities to help others, we not only contribute to the well-being of those around us, but also enhance our own sense of happiness and fulfillment. Research shows that acts of kindness, generosity, and service can boost our mood, strengthen our relationships, and provide a deeper sense of purpose. Whether it's offering support to a friend, using our creativity to inspire others, or applying our leadership skills to bring about positive change, our strengths become most powerful when shared. By shifting the focus from self-gain to collective well-being, we cultivate a more meaningful life while making the world a better place. The power of gratitude. Research has shown that gratitude is one of the most important keys to happiness. When we focus on what we're grateful for, rather than what's lacking, it can actually increase our sense of happiness and well-being. And one of the most effective ways to cultivate gratitude is through daily practice. By taking a few minutes each day to reflect on what we're grateful for, we can actually increase our overall sense of happiness and fulfillment. The importance of community in happiness. Community plays a vital role in our happiness and overall well-being. When we are part of a supportive and uplifting community, we gain a sense of belonging and connection that enhances our emotional and mental health. Humans are inherently social beings, and meaningful relationships help us feel valued and understood. Research consistently shows that people who have strong social networks experience higher levels of happiness, lower stress, and greater resilience in the face of challenges. Being part of a community provides emotional support, encouragement, and a shared sense of purpose, which can contribute to a more fulfilling life. Whether it's through family, friendships, work, or shared interests, having a network of people who care about us helps us navigate life's ups and downs. Investing in relationships and fostering a sense of community not only benefits our personal happiness, but also strengthens society as a whole. Connection truly is key to well-being. The deep interconnection of happiness and strengths. One of the most important things to understand about happiness and human strengths is that they're deeply interconnected. When we focus on building our strengths and using them to do things that bring us joy and fulfillment, it can increase our overall sense of happiness and well-being. And by cultivating positive relationships and a sense of community, we can actually increase our resilience and ability to cope with adversity. Stay tuned for more updates. See you next time.